Hey there, and welcome back to Andy Can Help Live. I'm Andy Miles, and whether you're running a small business, starting your first online store, or trying to grow your side hustle into something bigger, this episode is going to be a game changer for you. Today, we're going to deep dive into a topic that isn't just future facing, it's happening right now, and most small business owners have no idea it's affecting them. Is your website set up so AI tools can actually find and recommend you? We're going beyond the traditional how to rank on Google advice into something brand new. How your website talks to AI tools like ChatGPT, Claude, and Google's new AI search features that are completely changing how your potential customers discover businesses like yours. Here's what might surprise you. 71% of customers want generative AI integrated into their shopping experiences, according to a recent Capgemini study. And Perplexity AI alone is seeing approximately 2.2 million daily visitors, with that number growing rapidly each month. Think about it. When was the last time that you asked Siri or Google something instead of typing it in? That's exactly what's happening with shopping and business research too. By the end of this episode, you'll understand what AI readiness really means and why it's different from regular website optimization, how to write and organize your website content so AI tools can actually understand what you do, why the keywords and descriptions on your site still matter, but work completely differently now, real examples of small businesses winning and losing in this new world, a simple checklist you can use this week to test your own site, and the 3 biggest mistakes I see business owners making right now. So let's get into it. So what does AI ready even mean? And more importantly, why should you as a small business owner care about this when you're already juggling a million other things? Let me start with a story. I was working with Mandy, who runs a small pottery studio out of her garage and has a small shop in Daytona. She makes beautiful handcrafted mugs and bowls that she sells online. Mandy had done everything right with her website. Good photos, decent Google rankings when people search for handmade ceramics, and she was getting some traffic to her site. But here's what's happening that she didn't know was going on. When I tested her business by asking ChatGPT and other AI tools questions like, what are the best handmade mugs available around me? Or where can I find quality ceramic bowls made by small businesses? Mandy's pottery studio was nowhere to be found. Meanwhile, her competitor across town, who actually had worse Google rankings in some instances, was being recommended consistently by these AI tools. Why? It's because that competitor had written about their products in a way that AI could understand and felt more confident about recommending. And here's the thing. In the past, we worried about getting our websites to rank well on Google. We focused on using the right keywords, getting other websites to link to us, and making sure Google's robots could crawl our site properly. Now we need to think about something completely different. How do we write and organize our content so that AI tools can understand what we do, trust our expertise, and confidently recommend us to people asking questions? When someone asks ChatGPT, what's the best mug for someone with arthritis who loves tea? Or asks their phone, find me a small pottery business that ships to Canada. Or types into Google's new AI search, I need a wedding gift for someone who loves matcha. What should I buy? Will your business show up in these answers? Only if your website is written and structured in a way that these AI tools can understand and trust. The fundamental shift is this. We used to optimize our matching search terms. Now we need to optimize for answering questions and solving problems in a way that sounds natural and helpful to both the people asking and the AI tools helping them find answers. For your website, that means clear logical organization that makes sense to both visitors and AI, natural conversational writing instead of keyword-stuffed robotic descriptions, complete, helpful information that actually helps people make decisions, trustworthy, detailed content that shows you know what you're talking about, and real answers to real questions your customers actually ask. The good news? The small businesses that are winning at this aren't necessarily the biggest or most established. They're the ones who understand that AI tools are looking for genuinely helpful content that serves real people with real problems. And as a small business owner, you're actually in a perfect position to create that kind of authentic, helpful content. Before we dive into the how-to stuff, let's talk about what's actually happening with search right now, because this shift is affecting every business owner, whether you realize it or not. You know how Google has been adding those AI-generated answers at the top of search results lately? And that's just the beginning. Microsoft has AI built into their search engine now. OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, just launched their own search tool. And to put this into perspective, ChatGPT alone gets about 1.6 billion monthly visits, with each session lasting nearly 8 minutes on average. Perplexity AI has seen over 650 million people using AI apps, and their interest grew by an incredible 20,530% over the last year. But here's what makes this different from just another search engine. These AI tools don't just find websites, they have conversations with people, and those conversations sound like real people talking. Instead of someone typing handmade mug into Google, they're now asking ChatGPT. I work from home and drink a lot of coffee during long video calls. I want something handmade that'll keep my coffee hot and support small business. I prefer earth tones, but it needs to be microwave safe. What can you recommend? And that's not a search query, that's a whole conversation. And if your website isn't written to help AI tools answer that kind of detailed question, you're invisible to that potential customer. Here's what I've been seeing with the small business owners I work with. Ones who have adapted their website content for this new reality are getting a completely different type of website visitor. These aren't people who are just browsing around. They're arriving already educated about what they want, often ready to buy, because an AI tool specifically recommended them. One of the clients that I worked with was a beauty and cosmetics distributor. After we restructured the website in order to answer product questions in plain English, we started noticing something interesting with the website analytics. People were arriving at the site after searching for terms like ChatGPT recommended skincare and AI suggested natural soap. These visitors weren't just window shopping, they were converting to customers at a 40% higher rate than regular website traffic. Why? It's because they arrived already trusting the business and the product based on an AI recommendation. This makes sense when you look at the data. Studies show that AI exposure and AI accuracy perception significantly enhances brand trust, which directly impacts purchasing decisions. When an AI tool recommends your business, it's like getting a trusted friend's recommendation. The opportunity here is huge for small businesses, but it requires thinking differently about how you talk about what you do on your website. Instead of trying to stuff keywords into your product descriptions, you need to focus on being genuinely helpful and informative in a way that both people and AI tools can understand and trust. Let's get tactical. Here's something that might blow your mind. While traditional Google search still dominates, AI-powered search is growing incredibly fast. Recent data shows that even though AI tools currently handle less than 2% of all search queries compared to Google, the engagement is completely different. When people use ChatGPT, they spend an average of 8 minutes per session. That's deep engagement, not just quick browsing. And here's the kicker. 71% of consumers want AI integrated into their shopping experiences, with Gen Z and millennials leading this trend. This means if you're not preparing for this shift now, you're going to be left behind. Generative search optimization is different from traditional website optimization because AI tools don't just find your website and send people to it. They read your content, digest it, and then create new answers using what they learned from your new site. This means you need to give them the right raw materials. Writing for questions, not just queries. Instead of optimizing for the keyword ceramic mug durability, you need to answer the actual question, how long do ceramic mugs typically last? And here's a before and after from one of our modifications. Before, our handmade bowls feature durable construction and stylish design perfect for modern kitchens. And then after, how durable are these handmade bowls? Each bowl is fired twice at 220... Before we dive into the how-to stuff, let's talk about what's actually happening with search right now, because the shift is affecting every business owner, whether you realize it or not. You know how Google has been adding those AI-generated answers at the top of search results lately? That's just the beginning. Microsoft has AI built into their search engine now. OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, just launched their own search tool. And every day, more and more people are asking AI assistants for recommendations instead of scrolling through traditional search results. Here's a simple way to think about it. If even just 1 out of every 10 of your potential customers starts using AI tools to research products instead of Google, that could be a significant chunk of your business that you're missing out on if your website isn't ready for it. But here's what makes this different from just another search engine. These AI tools don't just find websites. They have conversational interactions with people, and those conversations sound like real people talking. Instead of someone typing handmade mug into Google, they're now asking ChatGPT, I work from home and drink a lot of coffee during long video calls. I want something handmade that will keep my coffee hot and supports a small business. I prefer earth tones, and it needs to be microwave safe. What do you recommend? And that's not really a search query. That's a whole conversation. And if your website isn't written to help AI tools answer that kind of detailed question, you're invisible to that potential customer. Here's what I've been seeing with the small business owners I work with. The ones who have adapted their website content for this new reality are getting a completely different type of website visitor. These aren't people who are just browsing around. They're arriving already educated about what they want, often ready to buy because an AI tool specifically recommended them, often directly from the AI tool directly, so we have that link back to validate that's where they come from. I've seen this firsthand working with different types of businesses. One client I worked with was a beauty and skincare distributor who ran an online storefront. They carried multiple brands and had hundreds of products on their site, everything from anti-aging serums to natural soaps and organic moisturizers. Initially, their product pages were pretty standard: product name, price, basic description, maybe a few bullet points about ingredients, typical e-commerce stuff. But when I tested their site by asking AI tool questions like, what's a good vitamin C serum for sensitive skin, or where can I find cruelty-free skincare products, their store wasn't showing up in the answers, even though they carried exactly what people were looking for. So we rewrote their product descriptions and category pages to accurately answer the questions their customers were asking. Instead of just listing ingredients, we explained what those ingredients do and who they're best for. Instead of generic product descriptions, we added sections that addressed common concerns and questions. And of course, we were very detailed with our ingredients list to make sure that the customer knew what they were getting, to make sure that allergy concerns were being taken into account. But here's what really sealed the deal for us. We validated our work by testing it directly. We went to ChatGPT, Claude, and other AI tools and asked them the same kinds of questions their customers would ask. What's the best vitamin C serum for someone with sensitive skin who's new to anti-aging? Or, I need a complete skincare routine for dry skin. What do you recommend? And you know what? The AI tools started recommending their products and actually quoting information directly from their newly updated product pages. It was like watching the AI tools read their website and then confidently share that information with users. That's when we knew that the changes were working. Within a few months, something interesting started happening with their website analytics. They were getting visitors who had clearly been sent there by AI recommendations. People who were arriving after searching for phrases like AI recommended vitamin C serum or ChatGPT suggested skincare routine. And here's the important part. These visitors were converting to customers at a much higher rate than the regular website traffic. This makes sense when you look at the data. Studies show that AI exposure and AI accuracy perception significantly enhance brand trust, which directly impacts purchasing decisions. When an AI tool recommends your business, it's like getting a trusted friend's recommendation. The opportunity here is for small businesses, but it requires thinking differently about how you talk and what you do on your website. Instead of trying to stuff keywords into your product descriptions, you need to focus on being genuinely helpful and informative in a way that both people and AI tools can understand and trust. Let's get tactical. Here's something that might blow your mind. While traditional Google search still dominates, AI-powered search is growing incredibly fast. Recent data shows that even though AI tools currently handle less than 2% of all search queries compared to Google, the engagement is completely different. When people use ChatGPT, they spend an average of 8 minutes per session. That's deep engagement, not quick browsing. And here's the kicker. 71% of consumers want AI integrated into their shopping experiences, with Gen Z and millennials leading this trend. That means if you're not preparing for this shift now, you're going to be left behind. Generative search optimization is different from traditional website optimization because AI tools don't just find your website and send people to it. They read your content, process it, and then create new answers using what they've picked up from your site. This means you need to give them the right raw materials. Instead of optimizing for the keyword ceramic mug durability, you need to answer the actual question, how long do handmade ceramic mugs typically last? For example, here's a before and after of what this could look like. Before, our handmade bowls featured durable construction and stylish design perfect for modern kitchens. And after, our handmade bowls are durable due to their twice fired process at 2200 degrees Fahrenheit, making them chip resistant for everyday use. With proper care, customers typically use our bowls for 10 plus years. The high fire process also makes them microwave and dishwasher safe. It's a bit more descriptive. It answers a few more questions rather than just the at its face value, yes, these are durable. See the difference? The second version gives AI tools specific, useful information they can reference and quote. Generative search loves context. If you sell kitchenware, don't just have product pages. Create content clusters that give AI tools a complete picture of your expertise. From product education, what makes stoneware different from porcelain, for example, or you can look at care instructions, how to take care of your new ceramic mug, or we can look at buying guides, which help you choose the right size mug for different drinks, or problem solving. Why does my mug get too hot in the microwave? And then lastly, you have things that are like use cases, which would be, best mugs for camping versus office use. These different kinds of content types give different dimensions of information to the buyer and helps them to choose the right product on your site. This cluster approach helps AI tools understand that you're not just selling products, that you're also an expert in the field and that you can be reputably looked upon for answers. Here's a technique that's working incredibly well. For every product or service page, include a natural FAQ section that addresses real customer questions. But write the questions like you're explaining to a friend, not like you're trying to rank for keywords. For example, will this keep my coffee hot? Answer. The thick ceramic walls will help retain the heat for about 45 minutes with the lid on, or 20 to 25 minutes without. It's perfect for slow coffee drinkers, but won't replace a thermal mug for all-day heat retention. That's a bit more explaining of, what the user is actually in for as far as the length of how long the mug will keep hot. And AI tools love this format because they can extract specific factual information to answer user questions. You're also going to want to start thinking about the customer journey differently, mapping out questions people ask at each stage. So for example, during the discovery stage, people might ask, what makes handmade ceramics special? During the next stage, which would be consideration, they may ask, are handmade mugs worth the extra cost? At the decision stage, they may ask, what's the return policy if a mug arrives damaged? And then finally, at the last stage of usage, when they've actually received their product, how do I care for my new ceramic mug? Creating content that addresses each stage and making sure that AI tools are able to find those and reference those will give them rich context to work with for their recommendations that they're providing to people that are searching. Now let's talk about the technical side, how to structure your website so LLMs can actually parse and understand your content. Okay, let me pause here for a quick explanation because some of you might be wondering what I mean when I talk about headers and page structure. Think of your website pages like a well-organized document or report. When you write something important, you have the main title at the top, then section headings throughout to break up different topics. Your website works the same way, and it's built into whatever platform you're using to build your site. Whether you're using Shopify, Squarespace, WordPress, Wix, or any other website builder, and you're editing a page, you'll see options that say things like heading 1, heading 2, and heading 3. And these are called header tags, and they're like the page's table of contents. Heading 1, H1, is your main page title, with the big headline at the top. You'll only want one of these per page. It's just like a newspaper article only having one main headline. Heading 2, which would be your H2. These are your major section headers. Think of these like chapter titles in a book. And then you have H3, which are even smaller subsections for these, which, would be like topics within a chapter. So a good organization structure may look something like this for handmade mugs. You'll have your main title, which would be H1, which might say handmade ceramic mugs for coffee and tea lovers. You might have your first section, which would be under H2. Why choose handmade over store-bought? And then you would have a couple of subsections underneath that, which would be they last longer and they support small business. Rather than continuing on with H3, you're starting a new topic of what would be our most popular mug styles. That becomes H2, and then you add on subsections from there for classic coffee cups, large coffee cups, etc. And this structure goes on. We keep only one H1, but we can have multiple H2s, and then we have our H3s that are nested underneath those respective H2s. This isn't just important about making your page look organized for people, though that's important too. It's about helping AI tools understand how your information is structured. When someone is asking an AI assistant about caring for ceramic mugs, it can jump straight to that section and give them specific information you've provided. Most website builders make this super easy. When you're typing, just highlight the text you want to be a header and select heading 2 or heading 3 from the formatting options. It's that simple. Here's some best practices to remember for keeping your content. Number 1, keep paragraphs short. 2 to 3 sentences max. Large language models process shorter chunks better. Use bullet points and lists. They're easier for AI to parse and quote. Including specific details instead of just saying high quality, indicating what temperature they're fired at for mugs, for example, would be, a good way to describe how durable they can be as far as, their heat resistance. And then also writing descriptive URLs, which would be like your slugs. Your slug would be what your URL looks like. So you'd say something like how to choose tea mug size instead of blog post 47 or something like that. You're also going to want to look at your internal linking strategy. You're going to create a web of related content that helps AI tools understand your expertise breadth. And that can look like linked product pages to relevant care instructions, connecting blog posts to relevant products, and creating related question sections that link to other helpful content. Most AI tools are being used on mobile devices, so we need to understand that and take that into consideration as we are building our sites. If your content is hidden behind tabs, accordion menus, or loads slowly, AI crawlers might miss it entirely. Keep important information visible and accessible. Metadata is still crucial, but it works differently in the AI era. AI tools love structured data. Here are some priority schema types. You're gonna want to make sure that you have good product schemas. You're gonna want to have your price, your availability, reviews, and specifications in a way that is easily referenceable by the AIs. You're going to want to make sure that you have an FAQ schema set up with questions and answers in a machine readable format. You're going to want a review schema, which allows the AI to be able to reference customer feedbacks and ratings. And then you're also going to want to make sure that you have your organizational schema, so your business information and credentials. You want to make sure that this is all set up and organized in a way that is able to be processed by the AI. We're also moving from short competitive keywords to long tail conversational phrases, which is interesting because we're seeing almost a recurrence of this. It used to be a tactic to go after those long tail conversational phrases and then bid a bit higher on them because you knew that that was a more precise strike for a customer. Now it appears that the AI process of asking customers or of people using AIs and asking in these long tail ways, it's making that more relevant. So instead of people just typing in handmade mug, the target might be best handmade ceramic mug for daily tea drinkers. Or instead of pottery care, we're going to want to put something like how to clean handmade ceramic mugs without damage. These longer phrases match how people actually talk to AI tools. We're also going to want to look at alternate text for AIs. So writing image alt text that's descriptive and natural. Instead of just mug, blue ceramic, handmade, you're going to want to use something that says hand-thrown ceramic tea mug in a deep blue glaze with a comfortable handle. This in-depth explanation of the image will allow the AI tool to be able to better process that information and present it to your customer. Here's your assignment for this week. Test your website with the following framework. Open up ChatGPT, Claude, or Perplexity and ask it a question that your business should be able to answer. See if your brand appears in the response. If not, then your content may need some work. Ask yourself these questions when you're looking at your website. Can someone understand what you do in 30 seconds of reading your homepage? Do your product pages answer why and how questions? Are you using schema markup on key pages? Are you using your H1, H2, and H3 tag headers effectively? Do you have FAQ sections with natural language answers? Are your blog posts connected to your products and services? Can you find specific quotable facts on every important page? Are you using effective backlinking to make sure that you are connecting with other answers on the internet? After you do this, read your content out loud. Does it sound like how you would explain your business to a friend? If it sounds too robotic or keyword stuffed, AI tools may not be able to recommend you confidently and effectively. Here's the big takeaway. AI isn't just changing how people search, it's changing what gets found and recommended. The businesses that will thrive in this new landscape are those that focus on being genuinely helpful, clearly explaining their expertise, and structuring their content for both human understanding and machine comprehension. This isn't about gaming a new algorithm. It's about becoming the kind of business that AI tools feel confident recommending to their users. Your homework. Pick one product or service page this week and rewrite it using the principles we discussed. Make it conversational, answer real questions, and include specific details. Then test it with AI tools to see how it performs. Want that free AI readiness audit worksheet I mentioned? Grab it from the link in the show notes. It includes specific prompts that you can use to test your own content and a step-by-step checklist. Next week, we're diving into AI-powered customer service and how to prepare your business for the chatbot revolution. You won't want to miss it. Until then, keep building smarter, not just louder. This episode's theme music was brought to you by Abnoxix. You can find them streaming on Spotify and other major streaming services. Just search ABNOXIX. Thanks everybody. See you next week.